Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, welcome back to Sana's Space. This video is going to be another underreported news topic where I talk about cultural issues, social issues, humanitarianism issues, conflict issues, etc, that I feel like are underreported and not really headlined enough. And this video is going to be about whether Instagram and Snapchat filters are making us insecure and the concept of selfie dysmorphia. You know, why are we gravitating more and more towards using filters? Why do we need to select that particular filter in order to take a selfie? Are filters actually driving us to have something we call selfie dysmorphia? Selfie dysmorphia basically means that you have a distorted view of your physical features. So after taking tons of selfies and being used to how your face looks within selfies and filters, you may start to feel that your cheeks are bigger than what it actually is, or your eyes are actually a bit smaller than what they actually are, actually thinking that you look a particular way when that isn't the case. And I feel like this topic has been floating around like social media conversations, news articles, etc. for the past like couple of years, but I feel like it's still underreported, especially right now when it's like so much more observant. Literally everyone is using filters, especially during this pandemic that's just not ending. So, you know, we're stuck in our houses, there's a lot more screen time, so a greater chance that we're actually going to pick up those filters and use them. So I feel like now's a good time to talk about selfie dysmorphia so that we can be aware whilst we're using filters and know what's happening. Just a disclaimer, this is not to bash anyone that uses filters because everyone uses it. I use it, so that's that. And I'll be breaking this video into 4 main talking points, so without rambling any further, let's start. So what are filters actually doing to our face? Ever since filters were first introduced, there's always been like subtle beauty altering features. So back in 2015 when Snapchat first introduced filters, though there were some filters that made you look more flattering, they were mostly like expressions of art. So they'll have the rainbow one, there'll be like the dog one, a horse one. They're all very artsy. But as time went on and women began to become more like drawn towards filters, a lot of the filters that were coming in were very beauty, like intentionally beauty altering. So we had like the flower one that will make your skin lighter, your eyes lighter, your lips pinker, your face just look more flushed, the hearts one. And then there's one other one that's like, oh, that used to be me, like the blue, it's got like a blue cast on it. However, in 2017 Instagram came with their own set of filters and stories.
New face filters on Instagram today.
And they literally changed the game. Like, they literally came with the ideal Instagram face, you know, the cat eyes, the high cheekbones. Sometimes they even have some tanned ones, and then they've got the paler version, and then they got like this, the way they smooth the skin out as well is just like, oh. And I remember doing research for this video, like most people had even said that they stopped using Snapchat after Instagram released filters and stories. Even I looked at I looked at the statistics and literally fell like in 2018. So, yeah. How are filters actually causing selfie dysmorphia? You know, why are we so reliant on using filters and see ourselves as better when we do use filters? So the link is, the more we use filters, the more it makes us idolize these mainstream features. So like the thinner nose, the higher cheekbone, the cat eyes, the big lips, etc, because these filters allow us to see how these idol features play on ourselves in real time. So like as we're using it, we're comparing ourselves to these idol features. So this then makes us notice some of our unique features that aren't in line with the idol stereotype. So it triggers dysmorphic symptoms in a way that we become overly cautious and insecure about our imperfections that aren't actually there. So using these filters can then play on our self-esteem, as people can start preferring the filtered realities of themselves over the real them. So yeah, now are these apps commodifying our insecurities? So let's look at Snapchat first and how the platform benefits. When Snapchat first introduced its filtered lenses, the amount of daily users skyrocketed by 42 million. So it went to about like 122 million. And with this amount of engaged and active users, companies were able to advertise and promote their products using Snapchat. So obviously they'll pay Snapchat to host their adverts, and we, the consumers, will potentially buy their products. If we look at Instagram, research shows that average engagement time is 75 seconds, which is 4 times as much as normal video content. So like from a content creation standpoint, this is very attractive. This also allows brands to engage in Insta filters and create their own filters. I know Adidas has done this, IKEA's done this, Disney's done it, Mac's done it, and there's even an LV one. I remember that LV one was popular. That way, when individuals use these filters, these companies get a lot of indirect marketing, and it drives a lot of traffic. Even speaking of the LV one, taking that for example, it made your lips 10 times bigger, it gave you really high cheekbones, cat eyes, quite a good blush. And I felt like that one was so popular because, not just because of the luxury brand, but because of the beauty aspect to it, the fact that it made you look very Kardashian-like. Also from an influencer marketing stance, there were several cases where influencers were also using beauty filters whilst advertising beauty products. And last week, even though by the time this comes out, a couple of weeks ago. The advertising authority standards basically banned influencers from using filters whilst they're advertising beauty and skincare products, because basically it just kind of exaggerates the effects and is therefore misleading. So yeah, filters basically allow people to see what they will actually look like if they had surgery. So if they had surgery to become the ideal version of themselves, then filters allow you to see that without doing the surgery. And with surgery becoming a lot more common, a lot more accessible, people are basically resorting to cosmetic surgery or also non-surgical procedures to then emulate the filtered version of themselves in reality. So the person that actually came up with the term selfie dysmorphia was a British surgeon called Tijon Esho. And he actually came up with the term Snapchat dysmorphia, because at the time filters was only a thing on Snapchat, but same thing, Snapchat dysmorphia, selfie dysmorphia, same thing. And he, as well as other surgeons, have been saying that people have been coming to him saying that they want to look like the filtered version of themselves. So they'll come up to him with a filtered version of themselves and say like, I want to look like that. I want bigger eyes, I want a smaller nose, I want big lips, I want higher cheekbones. Whatever you can do to get me to look like that, that's what I want. And he's been saying for the past couple of years that that's what a lot of young people in particular have been doing. And this has been a thing for adults under 25 as well as teenagers. And even a survey had been done in 2018 in which 55% of surgeons had said that they had been experiencing young people, young teenagers as well, coming up to them and saying that they'd like to look like the filtered version of themselves, and also that the use of filters is actually triggering body dysmorphic disorder. Okay, so I guess with all this information, we can be a lot more aware whilst we're using selfies in terms of knowing what could potentially happen, and so we're not overly reliant on filters. I feel like as time is going by during like this pandemic especially, I feel like I've been seeing a lot of people become more reliant on filters and feel like filters are a lot more of a convenient way to post. So let me know what you think in the comments below. And again, this is not to bash people who use filters. I use them. It's just a way to open the discussion and to just let people know of the downsides of using filters, and so that we're not overly reliant when using them. So yeah, like if you enjoy this content, it really helps with my channel growth. Subscribe for more, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.